You know, time is up, and there are a lot of people out there that are trying to be the four horsemen of the apocalypse. And you know, if I'm talking to you, if you're a lawyer, if you're a judge, if you're a DA, if you are a police officer, military, FBI, all of these different factions, take the IRS for instance, they call themselves the black horse holding the scales. These are all pretenders. They're not really the four horsemen, they're pretenders. But the real four horsemen is on their way. They call it aiding and abetting. You know if you're working for Satan or the energy of Satan. You know if you're working for Satan. You take these jobs and it's about money. You sign an oath, you take an oath when you take these jobs. You have just signed in blood a decree, or if you want to call it a contract with Satan. You just sealed your faith by taking peace. And this is a job between the white horse and the red horse. But then there are some jobs that are the pale horse, because a lot of people continue to pay until they are no longer here on this earth. I'm just going to say it like that. I'm not going to say this new word that they want you to say. But you just signed in blood a contract with Satan. Knowingly and unknowingly is what you did. Because when you take peace from the people, when you take their freedom, when you take these jobs, you're no longer on the Holy Spirit side. And I'm just being quite frank and quite honest. You're no longer on the Holy Spirit side. Because these are karmic debts that you have to pay. And no matter how much you want to deny it, or you work for, you know, you're a Christian, or you are an evangelist, or you made that decision to take that contract because of why? Because of money, greed. but they call that aiding and abetting. Isn't that right? Willingly and knowingly and unknowingly. So this is just the price that you're gonna have to pay. And it's sad to say, it's a heavy price. Because if you're not here to help others, you're here to bring them down. I mean, there are millions of people out here that are doing things that are just unrighteous, not upright. These things are karmic. The contract you sign in blood with your name is karmic. Anything to do with taking peace from the people, that's a death sentence. And I don't mean to use that literally. I mean, you just signed your life away. You just signed a deal with the devil. If it's taking peace away from the people, if it's taking peace from the earth, that's karmic. That's karma you're going to have to pay for. And yes, it determines on your job, whether it be military, whatever it may be. And I know a lot of you are going to be upset about it, but it's the truth. You signed up for this. And that's karma that you're going to have to pay for. You're traveling across the world. You're taking lives and killing people. And I'm talking about those in the military. You signed that contract. You did that. Nobody else but you. So, even some of these doctors, they're doing things to get paid. When, let's say, the Jesus that they've been showing all over the world, that is this Caucasian person, but it's really not. But this person that they showed, when they were doing taxes and stuff, they were taxing the people. What did Jesus do in that movie? He turned over the table. Because why? Because the people are suffering. You're taking from those that really don't have. You signed that contract. And if it was to take from others, take a life, take freedom, bend the law in your will, that's exactly what you done. You bent the law in your will. And for that, it's a karmic debt that you're going to have to pay. Not all that you think is supposed to be good for your long term. It's not good for your long term. And that's the problem. How do you know when you're working for Satan? Just by your job. What you decided to do for a living. And if you decided to go that route on taking peace from others, That's what happens. And you chose that job. Nobody chose it for you, but you chose it. This is a job you chose. There's nothing I can say more than you signed up for the adversary, because if it's taking peace from others, that's karma that you're going to have to pay. Any person that has to spend their entire life paying until they're no more on this earth. Just imagine the things that you do that drive people to be no longer here. Just imagine the effect that you have on people. And they want no longer here. Guess whose fault that is? It's definitely not their fault. And even though you may feel like you're innocent by taking on these different jobs, you're not. Because they call that aiding and abetting. So just as your law, it's the Holy Spirit's law as well. Knowingly and unknowingly, you're considered guilty. And this is a contract that you cannot get out of, because it's karma. You know, if you're sitting behind a desk and you are scamming people, or you are taking money extra, you know, if you being a pirate and you're taxing people, and then on top of that, you're trying to add more fees on top of other fees. You know, if you're price gouging, you know, if you're taking from the people, you know what you're doing, because you chose that job. You signed up for that. And there's nothing on this earth that's going to stop what the Holy Spirit's going to do. And I'm going to tell you, the Holy Spirit's going to tear this place up. The four horsemen are going to tear this place apart. Because it's too much debt that's going on. It's too much debt. People owe too much on karma. And you took that job. Why do you think the world is in such chaos right now? Because people can't seem to do the right thing. Because for them, it's all about money. They want to take, and take, and take. But they don't want to give. So this contract you sign with Satan, you can't get out of it. Because it's karma. You sit behind a desk. You sit on the phone and you know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. There's one more other group that runs people in the ground, and mainly men. And I'm talking about the child support officers. That's governmental too. Their time is coming. They take and take and take. Loan sharks, pirates. Their time is coming. If you didn't think the IRS was too big to fall, just wait. The Holy Spirit's getting is. It's going to get is. It's going to get its just for you making the people suffer. Knowingly and unknowingly. But you know the job is wrong. You know that job is not right. You know it's not right. You know that job is not right. But yet you still take it, yet you still sign your name in blood and sided with the adversary to make people suffer, put them in anguish. You know you're on the other side of that phone and you're talking to these people and telling them, well, I don't care, get a second job, get a third job, get a fourth job. I don't care, but you need to pay. You know you're wrong. And the Holy Spirit sees everything. Like I said on my other video, karma's a B. If you're a cop, you automatically work for Satan, period, point blank. If you are a guard working in a prison, you automatically work for Satan. You sign that contract. Any official that is here to take peace, here to take freedom from the people, is in direct violation of karma and judgment. So you know what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. Anyone in the military, you know if you're killed, and I know this is going to ruffle some feathers for some people. I'm sorry, but you sign your name in blood. You're taking peace from the people. Anyone that is, who's out robbing, killing, I'm not going to forget about you. Even some women that are setting men up to be sacrificed or killed, I'm not going to forget about you either. Even those that are doing witchcraft, sorcery, these are all signing your name in blood. These are all jobs that you sign, knowingly and unknowingly, aiding and abetting. Isn't that the law? So, those that took those jobs, those so-called high-paying jobs, those that know that they're taking from the people, and know that they're taking people freedom away, putting people under duress. You are in direct line of fire. Time is up. If you wonder why some of your family members are dropping dead, forgive me, YouTube. You wonder why some of your family is falling out and no longer here. You know why? Because it's a karmic debt. If the Holy Spirit doesn't get it from you, which it will sooner or later, but if you notice everyone start dropping like flies around you, you know why. You don't have to question, you don't have to ask. Just ask, what karmic debt did they have? Just ask if they are being paid, if their karmic debt is because of me, of something I did. I know everyone has their own individual, but the Holy Spirit is going to let you see them drop off one by one right in your face. And I know YouTube, you might not like what I'm saying, but I'm sorry. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to say it. If you know that you're taking peace from the people, if you know that you're taking from the unfortunate, if you know that you're taking from the weak, if you know that you're taking from the meek and the weak, if you know that you're taking from the elders, if you know that you're not doing right by others, and especially the elders. So many young people that I've seen being disrespected. So many young people I've seen that they really disrespected the elders. So many people. It's not going unnoticed. It's not going unnoticed. So those of you that work in the hospitals, those that work in these homes and stuff like that, these nursing homes and things like that, and mistreating people, it's not going unnoticed. That's a karmic debt that you got to pay. You're taking peace from the people. So I felt really strongly about this morning when I woke up. And I started thinking about all the stuff that's happening in the world today. These things are just not happening just because they're just happening, because it's just a part of life. No, it's not that. Things are ramping up. People are waking up. Time is moving faster. And it's getting close to the time to where life as we know it will be changing. But it's not changing for the better. It's changing for the worst. Heed my warning. Time is up. You have no more time left. Now the real 4 horsemen are on the way. This is the Messiah.